Campbell.
And I'm Ron Jackson.
Cerebral conversations on disability liberation and integration. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cerebral Conversations, episode 16. This is Cerebral Conversations, conversations on disability liberation and integration. I'm CJ Campbell.
And I'm Ron Jackson.
Ron, let's get
Cerebral.
boom. So, what's been going on this week?
Family gatherings and UFC. Not all in the same event, but
Family gatherings.
yes.
Explain this to me.
I went to a family reunion.
So wait, so this is like your family?
No, this is Shane's fiance's family.
So you
Hi,
went to
Chelsea.
Hi Chelsea, we haven't met yet. So this is like a family that you don't know. So like you went to like basically a stranger's family reunion.
Yes, with 300 people.
Weird.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Was the food good at least?
It was okay for 300 people. I mean, they had the mass cook, so it was alright.
So UFC.
UFC was awesome. I got to witness the changing hands of the UFC light heavyweight title. Anthony Pettis took the belt from.
I actually watched that fight. That was a pretty mean armbar.
Yes, it was. Anytime you cannot tap, it's a good submission hold.
Gross. There was floppy arm afterwards.
Yes.
Floppy arm.
He couldn't put it through his t-shirt, so it was pretty bad.
Gross. Yeah. Ugh. So, I'm headed to Pittsburgh tomorrow.
Yes. Steel City.
Yeah, and I'm going to see my girlfriend and meet her family. That's right, ladies. I'm sorry to let you know, but I've been off the market for a while, for the last couple months.
It's true. We're all excited.
Yeah, I met a lady who plays the banjo and has dreads.
She's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to do that. So actually, we're shooting half of the show a day early, and then we did an interview this week. But actually, I want to tell you about this wonderful thing I found out. You can buy ice cream with your food stamps.
What?
Yeah. So I celebrate Shabbat every Friday, which is like I'm kind of like stuck halfway between a Christian and a Jew. I know I've gotten to that a little briefly. So I celebrate the Jewish Sabbath every Friday night with some close friends of mine, and we just kind of get together and usually share a meal. It's nothing really formal or anything like that. But so we were asked to bring cash because we were going to order some pizza from a local place called Capri's. But I don't usually have cash, and it was the end of the month, so, but since I just got my link card back, I did have some food stamps. So I was like, I could bring some ice cream, so I was able to like buy like 3 huge things of ice cream with my food stamps because I didn't need to use them this month. So that was pretty awesome.
That is epic.
Yeah, okay. Edie's has this ice cream called Salted Caramel Pretzel. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a party in your mouth.
Yeah, so I'm headed to Pittsburgh tomorrow, so if we have any fans in the Pittsburgh area, I'll have a lot of downtime while my girlfriend is going to class at the University of Pittsburgh, so if any of you are in the area...
Go Panthers!
Just hit me up, leave us a message. That'll be good. So this week we're changing things up. We're continuing our ongoing series on health and wellness, and I had the pleasure of sitting down with health coach Jackie Bennet, and we just talked about health and wellness and diet and overall holistic health, which I feel is relevant to both crippled and able-bodied brothers and sisters.
I didn't realize how relevant it was until I actually started eating better.
That's kind of how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, I don't have to feel like crap.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, with further ado, here is a wonderful interview I had with Jackie Bennet. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hey guys, this is a special Cerebral Conversations interview with health coach Jackie Bennet. Jackie,
Hi, buddy.
are you ready to get cerebral?
I am ready to get cerebral. Let's go.
Okay, so what exactly is a health coach and how long have you been doing it?
Well, a health coach actually is your one-on-one personal health coach. You know, we're there to be with you every step of the way in different areas of your life. I actually started my interest in nutrition, many years ago. We won't go back that far, but it was a very long journey, and I decided I needed to get more information, so I went to nutritional school and became a certified health coach about close to 2 years ago now. But you know, everybody has different needs and everybody has different health issues. So as a health coach, I tend to specialize in weight management, stress management, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, you know, and autoimmune type dysfunctions. And some health coaches will specialize in some other areas. So we're one-on-one. That's what we're here for.
So, was there a illness or something in your life that kind of catapulted you towards this?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that. Yeah, there was. Over the years, I started to develop, you know, different types of illnesses and sicknesses, and just sick all the time, and just couldn't figure out why I was sick. Very fatigued, and as the years progressed, you know, the doctors would just say to you, well, you need to eat healthy, and you need better diet, you need to exercise. Well, then nobody ever really told me, what does that mean? You know, and so I thought I was eating healthy, and most people usually do think they're eating healthy. And but as the years went on, it got worse, and the chronic fatigue is what was diagnosed, chronic fatigue fibromyalgia. Lots of tests, you know, and every imaginable test there is, and then the medication started to be prescribed, and the weight started to come on, and 30 pounds overweight, chronic fatigue fibromyalgia, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, restless leg syndrome. The list goes really on, and you can actually see my full story on my website. It's listed under my story because we could go on for a while. But the beauty of it is I knew something was missing, and I knew that the doctors were missing something, and I had to find out what it was. And so I dove into the nutrition, and after becoming certified as a certified health coach, I was able to treat myself with diet and lifestyle changes, as well as many other clients that I've seen, to really improve their health and help them to learn what true health and wellness is to them as an individual, because we're all different. Not everybody's the same.
Absolutely, which kind of works into, with crippled brothers and sisters. A friend of mine once eloquently put that we're all kind of temporarily able-bodied. And something that I've found in my own life is just, if I'm not eating right, if I'm not sleeping properly, if I'm not having good boundaries in my life, my disability and my overall health is affected just like anybody else.
Absolutely. It's critical from a standpoint of overall health, and how diet affects your overall health is critical to everybody. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. It doesn't matter whether you're able-bodied or not. It will affect, I mean, let's think about our bodies, okay? Our bodies are absolutely magnificent. We have over 100, well, anywhere from 50 to 100 trillion cells in our bodies that are working and replicating, and, you know, basically what we're made of. Our hearts beat without skipping a beat. Well, we hope so. But our hearts are beating, and our brains are functioning, and all of this is happening without even a conscious thought. Our bodies are truly, truly amazing. And what we fail to realize a lot of times is what's fueling that body, what's fueling those cells is what we put into our body, and not just in food. When I say diet, I actually am referring to not like Jenny Craig or just the food that you eat. When I'm referring to diet, I'm referring to your whole body as a whole, your lifestyle, your spirituality, your career, your exercise, physical activity, as well as what you put inside, because we are magnificent and it all has to balance out.
Awesome. So how does diet, in the sense of eating, affect your overall health? I mean, can you really explain how changing your diet or not having proper nutrition affects overall health?
Absolutely. It's absolutely critical. And again, I need to express that we are each so different, and we have individual needs. So basically, what I eat may be good for me, but it could be poison for you. Okay, so without proper diets, we can cause all types of different problems, anywhere from inflammation to which can lead to hormonal dysfunction. It can lead to endocrine system dysfunction. It can lead to, the list just goes on and on. It is so critical that we learn how to listen to our bodies, because our bodies are speaking to us. When we have little aches and pains, or we're feeling weary, or even if we have brain fog, we can't think clearly. Poor diet has even been linked to ADD and ADHD, autism, and the whole full spectrum, allergies, asthma. All of these conditions, autoimmune disease, lupus, MS, they've all been linked to diet and different effects that it can cause. Your nervous system can be affected. The list just goes on and on. It's absolutely critical, because remember, what we eat is what fuels our body, including our minds and our thoughts.
And so even in the sense of a lot of our fans of the show struggle with depression and insomnia. I know that I have bipolar disorder right now, and I'm like the greatest insomniac in the world. Would a change in diet and overall lifestyle change help that in any way?
Absolutely. There are a lot of studies out there that do support that a change in the diet, a healthy diet, and again, based on your own individuality. We need to find out what works for your body, okay? And it has a tremendous effect on insomnia, as well as just diet and lifestyle. There's other things, again, that play into nutrition. But diet in particular can have a huge effect on your sleeping. For instance, I would recommend, if you would want to try to watch your sugars, because sugar is also, it's very inflammatory food. It can cause all types of, it's sourced to chronic pain, okay? And inflammation is sourced to chronic pain. So those are that's just one small example of one of the things that you can change in your diet, is to learn where the sources of sugar are, the different names of the types of sugars, and how you can improve your diet and learn how to eat what they call now a low glycemic diet. That change alone, that one simple change, can have a huge effect on a sleeping pattern, as well as again, career, relationships, maybe there's something else that's happening that is creating an insomnia type of a situation. And there's all types of other little techniques that you can use to help with that.
I mean, I know that, I'm nowhere at the level and understanding of where you're at, but I try to eat pretty healthy, and my friends are always like, I'm so overwhelmed, and I always tell them, it's not always about being perfect. It's sometimes just about making just simple choices, like maybe staying away from the microwave because it's too easy, and the food that you usually put in a microwave isn't good for you. It's about small changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot, and that's actually, as a health coach, what is one of the things that I specialize in is making small integrative changes over the course of the health coaching program, because it can become overwhelming, and it becomes so overwhelming that we tend to go back to our old ways. That's why most diets fail.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're talking about weight management, because it does become very overwhelming. So you need to take things slowly, and you need to integrate small changes, which in the end result can make all the difference in your life.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, most of the people that watch our show are brothers and sisters with different bodies. Some of us have neurological disorders. Some of us have genetic disorders that might not. I think one thing that we have to be careful about is saying like, oh, if you have a healthy diet, you can be cured of your cerebral palsy or whatever ailment or different body you have. But what can a diet do for somebody who does have a significant health issue that is debilitating? Like, I know that there's not a cure per se, but how can it improve somebody with like a mobility issue or chronic pain, things like that?
It can definitely have a positive effect. Actually, it's imperative. It's not a question of will it, it's a question of it will. It can definitely help with clarity as far as even being able to think. It's going to help with your energy level. Again, there's a lot of different factors that you deal with that, of course, me being as an enabled body, I don't deal with. But that doesn't mean that your body doesn't have the same functions as far as cell replication and feeding your cells and your brain and your nerve endings. And so it's absolutely critical, because certain foods that you eat and you don't even realize it are very, I was mentioning before, very inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
And we tend to have a chronic issue of chronic inflammation in today's society because of the types of diets that we eat. And this leads to pain. This can lead to, all types of pain issues, from nerve endings to just chronic pain. It's a real source. So it's not a question of being even enabled-bodied or not. It's imperative for everybody on every level.
So, I mean, this is a human being issue. This isn't a disability issue per se.
Absolutely. It's a human being issue. Again, it's going to be a little bit more complicated depending on what your conditions are. And it may take a little bit longer for one person versus another, because it depends on what it is that you're working on. But the end result is any improvements, how small and significant they may be, over a time is going to significantly improve not only how you feel, but your outlook in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to give you that energy and what you're looking for.
So that's a really great lead into my next question. What advice do you have for people who deal with chronic pain? I mean, I know that me personally, I have arthritic pain, and then with cerebral palsy, I have like a constant array of muscle spasms.
Right. And actually, I kind of looked into that just for your specific thing, but I don't want to get too specific. But what I'm going to tell you today can actually apply for not only you, but it can apply for everybody in general. But two things that I would recommend. Actually, I have more than two. I'll start with these two though. One is, and I mentioned it before, is we need to look into anti-inflammatory foods. Okay, and anti-inflammatory foods you're not going to find in a box. Okay, and you're not going to find in your fast food restaurants. Okay, your highly processed packaged foods. We're basically overfed and undernourished. And being undernourished, we develop nutritional deficiencies. And this, in turn, we wind up with high inflammation. So just to start with, you would want to start introducing more whole fruits and vegetables. And sometimes that's easier said than done. And that's why I'm here as a health coach, because a lot of people, they don't even know what do I put in? Do I eat romaine lettuce? So there's a whole ton of different vegetables and fruits out there, and we slowly introduce these things into your diet, and so to help you through that process and how to cook, and what do I do with these greens? What is this? What do I do with it? And then that's a common question. So I work with you on that too. So that would be one of the first things. The other one, and I mentioned it before, is to take control of your blood sugars. Diabetes is an all-time high, and especially when you're dealing with a lot of medications, we need to take back control of our bodies. So I would recommend that you learn how to eat what's called low glycemic. And sometimes they can get a little complicated, but I simplify that for you because basically if you're going to stick with the whole foods, you're going to be eating more low glycemic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to watch those processed foods because they're going to kill you. And it is actually, inflammation is the root cause of many chronic illnesses such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome. That's just a few. The list just goes on and on and on. So that, and as well as eating low glycemic. Let me see, what else can I help you with here? Of course, healing your gut, your digestion. Okay, this is really, really critical. What a lot of people, actually I should say recent studies have actually come out. We used to believe that serotonin was only produced in the brain, okay? But what they have found is that serotonin is actually produced in the gut. Okay, now as you know, serotonin is it's your antidepressant. It's what keeps things functioning nicely in the brain. So it's really important for you to make sure that your digestion is working properly. And when you're dealing with a lot of stress, no matter where that stress is coming from in your life, or a lot of medications, it can really mess up our digestion. Okay, so we need to work on our digestion to make sure that everything is flowing properly and digesting properly. And what that could also mean for you is you need to introduce healthy bacteria into your digestive system. A lot of our foods that we eat these days, processed fast foods, they're not so good for our digestive system, and they basically kill off what's called our good microflora, which is the good bacteria in your digestion, in your intestines and stuff like that. So this throws everything off. Your enzymes in your stomach, your serotonin. I mean, you become inflamed. It's a spiraling effect.
Like, I've noticed for me that if I eat anything with a lot of corn in it, the pain in my ankles will go insane, and then my stomach hurts, and then I notice that I'm really grouchy and cranky, and I get down in the dumps. I mean, so
it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens really quick like that, and I didn't really catch on to it until I noticed I just ate fast food 2 hours before, and it has a bunch of corn syrup in it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only what you eat; it's what you eat for your particular body. You just mentioned corn, and for you, corn is in everything. Mm-hmm. So, and from what you're describing, there's a really good possibility that you definitely have an intolerance to corn. So it would be beneficial for you to avoid corn. But
yay!
I can't even speak, avoid the corn. But you just pointed out something that was really interesting, and you said that, what was it? You said your ankles swell and they hurt, and your body's speaking to you, okay? You get moody, you get cranky. It's amazing when you really look at how food affects your body. Again, it's feeding your cells. Your cells are in your brain. It can affect every aspect. So we're always, a lot of times, so busy with what's going on in life and just going about our day-to-day that we're not listening to what our body is speaking to us. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the things that I teach as well in my health coaching as we go along, how to listen to your body, how to identify what foods are working for you and what foods aren't working for you as we introduce them and as we take out and slowly crowd out those bad foods.
So, now, for most of the people watching this show, we are in a cycle of poverty. We are on food stamps, Link, SNAP, whatever the state calls it. Mm-hmm. And healthy food can get expensive. But I know for me personally, a good month for me is if I can put away $20 into my savings account. So what advice would you have for people like us in our situations that don't have extravagant amounts of money to spend maybe $400 at the grocery store.
Right, I understand completely. One of the very first things that I highly recommend, and I recommend it for everybody, but particularly if you're on a restricted budget, is meal planning is critical. And that's one of the things that I also help to teach, is we have to learn how to meal plan, how to shop, because honestly, if we go into the store and we don't have meal plans in place, we tend to buy the things that we don't need, and we tend to buy the things that are not healthy for us. And in the process of learning how to do your meal planning, and you're going to be able to eventually crowd out some of the stuff that you're not supposed to be eating, and some of that stuff is expensive as well, and replace that cost with some of your healthier foods. So it really is just like anything else in life, it's balancing. You're going to have to balance. And that is one of the things that I would highly recommend is you have to do the meal planning. Another thing is there's a lot of talk about organics, out there. And a lot of people seem to think that I'm not going to be able to eat healthy or get healthy vegetables if I don't go and buy organics. Now, I love organics, and if I can afford organic, I'll buy organic. But that's not to say that you shouldn't eat healthy if you can't buy organic, okay? Fresh fruits and produce and vegetables are what is going to, it's what's going to make you better, okay? Make you feel better. Whether it be organic or whether it be non-organic. Okay, and if you do have a couple of extra bucks in your budget and you're able to pick up some organic, that's great, because it is going to lower your exposure to toxicity, from herbicides and pesticides and a lot of different sprays that they use in today's modern agriculture. But as far as the budget, again, it's about the balance, and it's about slowly crowding out the bad food and replacing it with the good food. Now, if you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to buy all the same stuff that you used to buy before, and then try to go and buy something healthy, you're not going to have the money. See, this is where we have to crowd out, and we have to reallocate the funds. And that's my suggestion.
Absolutely. So I think we're going to end this, and I wanted to thank you so much.
Yes.
Where can they get a hold of the lovely Jackie Bennet?
Well, I am on the world, sorry. I am on the web. I think I need some water. I'm on the web at JackieBennettHealthCoach.com, or you can reach me via email at JackieBennettHealthCoach@yahoo.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to sit down and talk to you.
I'm really glad to be here.
And you are an honorary Cerebral conversationist now.
Woo! Awesome. Thanks.
All right.